Nikki Haley, a figure known in the political sphere, recently disclosed her adoption of an alias, sparking debates about the use of authentic identities in online expression. This revelation ignited heated discussions and drew criticism from various factions. Offering an alternative viewpoint, Candace Owens, a conservative commentator, presents a distinctive narrative. She paints Haley as a radical figure, suggesting that her perspectives might not stand the test of time and could be viewed as extreme in the future. Owens raises skepticism about Haley's motivations, portraying her as more focused on personal gains than on the welfare of American citizens.
So Nikki Haley, this has been noted online, but is not her real name, of course. It's a pseudonym. And so she's not even using a real name and telling us that we have to register with the government under our real names in order to give our opinions.
She's not even using a real name and telling us that we have to register with the government under our real names in order to give our opinions. That's obviously contrary to the First Amendment. The conflict between unrestricted expression of ideas and government-imposed identity requirements raises significant concerns about anonymity. It highlights how government oversight, meant to protect rights, might encroach upon individual freedoms. This clash blurs the line between governmental intervention and personal liberties, sparking debates about safeguarding rights while maintaining regulatory control.
That's obviously contrary to the First Amendment. I don't know why the anchor didn't say something about it to her, but sort of nodded, oh, it's accountability. But it's fascism, actually. So, like, why isn't Nikki Haley getting laughed off the stage?
Well, Nikki Haley is someone that I would describe as radical. She's a
Yeah,
radical in this moment, and she's trying to present her opinions as not radical by hiding behind a terrorist attack, and it's not going to age well.
Nikki Haley is someone that I would describe as radical. She's a radical in this moment, and she's trying to present her opinions as not radical by hiding behind a terrorist attack, and it's not going to age well. Nikki Haley's behavior, scrutinized by Candace Owens, is deemed radical, suggesting a potential shortcoming in her way of conveying opinions. This analysis explores the importance of authentic intentions using sensitive events for political gain and questions the integrity of political maneuvering. It raises doubts about the validity of political actions, specifically the sincerity of politicians' actions and intentions in public discourse.
So right now in this moment, people are like, this rhetoric is totally fine. You're going to look back in a year and people are going to say, actually, this was kind of crazy. Some of the things that she said, she, in my view, has become increasingly radical every time she even hits the debate stage. I don't even know, what country she's running for president in.
right.
And I think Vivek Ramaswamy called her out accurately. And based on even my own personal experiences with her, which I've documented on my podcast, as somebody who isn't looking to actually win president, she doesn't
No.
want to become president of the United States. What she's looking to do is to secure certain contracts after she leaves the stage and
Yes.
she loses.
What she's looking to do is to secure certain contracts after she leaves the stage and she loses. Nikki Haley's statement suggesting that his motivation is more about financial gain than public welfare sparks investigations into the complex relationship between politicians' true intentions and the intermingling of personal interests in politics. This raises doubts about the underlying drives for pursuing political positions, encompassing personal ambitions, financial motives, and their convergence with the obligations of public service. Moreover, it highlights the ethical dilemmas stemming from this intricate entanglement.
And so for her, the motive are relationships that she's going to build and money that she's going to earn, as best evidenced by the fact that when Nikki Haley left her ambassadorship, she was broke and now she's a millionaire, a multimillionaire. And you have to ask how that happens. And Vivek Ramaswamy has had the courage to talk about her contract with
Yes.
Boeing. So her concerns are not about American citizens whatsoever, which is why it's all about sort of kowtowing to the person that I think that she believes, or to people that she believes can write her the biggest checks. That's been my assessment of Nikki Haley from the very beginning. It's still my assessment now. Take it or leave
Nikki Haley's proposal mandating real name registration directly challenges fundamental principles of free speech. This drive toward authentic online identities raises alarms about jeopardizing the shield of anonymity that many depend on for safety or shielding from repercussions. Scrutiny surrounding Haley's intentions following her ambassadorship hints at potential alliances and financial gains, tracing her trajectory from financial hardship to attaining multimillionaire status. The discourse around Haley's use of pseudonyms and her push for online identity authentication reveals the intricacies of digital identity, concerns over privacy, and the underlying political motivations. Criticisms voiced by Carlson and Owens bring attention to worries about stifling free speech and the potential hidden motives of influential public figures. In today's digital realm, public figures like Nikki Haley plunge into the multifaceted world of self-representation. Exploring this terrain goes beyond mere pseudonyms. It delves into the delicate balance between public personas and private lives. Candace Owens illuminates the fascinating crossroads where personal passions intersect with political ambitions, unraveling the complex web-binding personal interests, future goals, and political stances. But within this exploration, scrutiny emerges. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens meticulously dissect Nikki Haley's perceived authenticity, dissecting radical ideologies and self-serving motivations. Their critique dives deep into the perception of these figures and questions their political credibility. Yet, ethical considerations surface, highlighting the conduct of these public figures. Questions arise about the alignment of actions with ethical principles, especially when advocating for real name registration while simultaneously employing pseudonyms. At the heart of this discourse lies the scrutiny surrounding Nikki Haley's integrity in the public sphere. Haley's journey, from grappling with financial challenges to crafting authenticity in political arenas, mirrors a path from diplomatic roles to embracing steadfast values amidst evolving circumstances and ambitions. In this era of digital identities, the intricacies of representation for public figures spark profound discussions. The clashes between personal and public personas, the intertwining of passions with political aspirations, and the critical gaze on authenticity provoke thought about the role and responsibility of influential figures in shaping our societal landscape.
What do you think?
In the vast digital landscape, personalities such as Candace Owens face relentless personal attacks that disrupt any chance of meaningful conversation. Owens is continuously targeted with derogatory terms like grandma killer and pro-Putin puppet, steering conversations away from substantial discussions. Despite this onslaught, Owens persistently champions genuine dialogue, shedding light on the resistance to acknowledging mistakes and sidestepping accountability.
It's a little weird to see yourself. Look, we all get things wrong. I certainly have gotten a lot of things wrong. I think it's fair to be attacked for getting it wrong. But if you get it right, and it's proven that you got it right, and in 3 instances it has been proven that you did on the biggest issues of the day, shouldn't the people who attacked you apologize? And shouldn't someone at least point out, hey, Candace Owens was right about that?
Shouldn't the people who attacked you apologize, and shouldn't someone at least put out, hey, Candace Owens was right about that? The critical aspect of accountability within public conversations. Delving into the repercussions of challenging an individual or organization's accountability for criticizing faults without acknowledging their own when correct. This exposure navigates the realms of responsibility, personal integrity, moral ethics in both media and public spheres, all while evading psychological obstacles hindering the acknowledgement of mistakes.
No, I think what tends to happen is they have too much ego and they're too proud and they want to sort of move on and pretend that they weren't as radical as they were in their
Yes.
stances.
They have too much ego and they're too proud, and they want to sort of move on and pretend that they weren't as radical as they were in their stances. Pride, a complex interplay of psychological elements, hesitance to yield ground, avoidance of accountability, resistance to acknowledging errors or claiming rightful recognition, affects perceptions and behaviors at an individual level.
And calling you a grandma killer, if you wanted to go out the door and get groceries, or if you wanted to maybe see your grandma, because grandma shouldn't be dying alone, even if she is
Yes.
dying. So it takes a tremendous amount of humility to admit that you were wrong. People prefer to then pretend the internet will forget and just that they had more nuance than they did on the issue of the day, which is fine with me. I'm
I
totally
mean,
fine
it's
with
one
that.
thing not to admit you're wrong. I understand it's difficult to do that. I have to force myself. But to attack other people for being right and then apologize for it does seem immoral.
It is immoral. And when we're living in an environment where there is a lot of media immorality, people would rather you parrot certain talking points rather than have a meaningful discussion and a meaningful dialogue.
When we're living in an environment where there is a lot of media immorality, people would rather you parrot certain talking points rather than have a meaningful discussion and a meaningful dialogue. The erosion of substantial conversations within the media and public domain, the inclination to favor allegiance to particular storylines rather than authentic and pragmatic discussions, and the stress on the erosion of indignation are apprehensions regarding the deterioration of communal exchanges within media and societal realms. These psychological and social elements significantly contribute to this decline.
And they don't accept it. And at the moment that they start to censor speech and they start talking, calling you names, like calling you a grandma killer, calling you a pro-Putin puppet, it's because they don't actually believe what they're saying.
Right.
It just, these are ad hominem attacks to dissuade from having an actual debate. And there always should be an actual debate on every
Right.
issue.
And when they never explain what you got wrong, they don't call it wrong, they call it disinformation, which suggests it could be right. That's usually a tell.
Carlson admits to the possibility of making mistakes but raises an important question about the reluctance to apologize upon being proven wrong. This highlights the ethical dilemma in targeting individuals who speak the truth. Resorting to name-calling and censorship signifies a lack of confidence in countering opposing viewpoints, substituting depth with diversion. The prevalence of personal attacks obstructs meaningful conversations, encouraging avoidance rather than fostering healthy discussions. It's crucial to embrace humility and engage in substantive discussions for informed and respectful exchanges. In the ever-churning world of public debate, labeling becomes a shield, a weapon, and a battleground. Candace Owens, a figure under constant fire, isn't just facing attacks, she's grappling with the erosion of her identity. Being dubbed a grandma killer or a pro-Putin puppet isn't just name-calling, it's an assault on the soul. Amidst this turmoil, the quest for truth and meaningful dialogue seems distant. Owens and Tucker Carlson stand firm, their unwavering stances echoing across the media landscape. But in this tangled web of accusations, what's at stake is more than just their arguments, it's their self-worth, their moral fiber. The media conducts itself in a moral quandary. Dear as accountability and honor are weighed against the refusal to retract or make amends. Truth-bearers become targets, and misinformation thrives, corroding the authenticity of discourse. Candace Owens doesn't just fight back, she stands against the chains of media censorship. Her bold stance is a reaction driven by feared fear that genuine dialogue will be shackled and reasoned exchange will be stifled. But what's the cost? The ripple effect of censorship tarnishes conversations and distorts public sentiment. The authenticity and openness of discourse diminish in the wake of these attacks, void of substantial proof. Between truth and manipulation, between openness and censorship, Candace Owens stands at the forefront, her struggle not just about her own identity, but about the soul of dialogue itself. The question lingers, can truth survive in a war of words?
What do you think?
In the realm of conservative media, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro have frequently found themselves on opposing ends of vital discussions, starkly highlighting their contrasting viewpoints. Their disputes cover a wide array of crucial global topics, ranging from the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines to intricate geopolitical concerns, showcasing their divergent stances on significant matters. Owens has raised probing questions regarding certain aspects of vaccination campaigns, often in direct contrast to Shapiro's initial perspectives. Interestingly, she later conceded to his earlier stance, acknowledging her previous misjudgment in light of evolving circumstances.
You know what? Ben and I have many disagreements, so I don't think that that's particularly something that's interesting. We disagreed on the COVID vaccine. We disagreed on Ukraine and Russia. He has taken virtually every stance that has been the opposite of mine on every issue over the last 5 years.
He has taken virtually every stance that has been the opposite of mine on every issue over the last 5 years. Highlighting the profound divergence among people concerning vital matters, signaling substantial ideological variances, hinting at evolving perspectives over an extended duration, encompassing diverse viewpoints, substantive ideological contrasts, the origins of discord, and the significance of diverse outlooks on crucial societal matters.
So I don't think that that's
On the
particularly
COVID
remarkable.
vaccine, really, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, he was pro the COVID vaccine. I was anti the vaccine. We were all idiots for not getting the vaccine. So that's totally fine. I am totally open to people having a difference in opinion.
Right.
I would hope that amongst colleagues that it would always be a civil disagreement. And I would never in a private event stand on a table and talk badly about Ben.
It's
I
just a
would
little
say
weird. It's a little weird. So he was on the left on those three biggest issues of our time, is what you're saying?
he has converted his opinions. He's accepted responsibility. He said, I was wrong about the vaccine.
Oh.
He's accepted responsibility. He said, I was wrong about the vaccine. Owens recognizes the significant shift in someone's perspective and essential acknowledgement that embraces taking responsibility for altering viewpoints. The recognition holds importance as it prompts individuals to reassess their beliefs in light of new information. This constant evolution of perspective underscores the significance of acknowledging changing opinions, fostering adaptability in beliefs, assuming responsibility for evolving perspectives, and ultimately nurturing individual growth and deeper understanding.
Good for him.
He is, obviously pro pharma. His mom's a doctor, and I say to people, I'm very aware of my perspectives on big pharma,
Yes.
and I talk about it on my show openly. And I think that that's a tremendous credit to the Daily Wire that they allow a difference of opinions.
My perspectives on big pharma, and I talk about it on my show openly. And I think that that's a tremendous credit to the Daily Wire that they allow a difference of opinions. Platforms thrive on opinions, fostering diverse viewpoints and enabling conversations about contentious subjects like pharmaceutical giants. Embracing dialogue diversity is key, promoting a positive approach to disagreement. These platforms are invaluable for fostering varied opinions, exploring diverse perspectives, and nurturing a discourse that appreciates healthy disagreement.
But as I said, hope that it would remain respectful
Yep.
and that you wouldn't throw your colleagues under a bus, so to speak,
I think
in
that
a
I
private
think that I
setting.
think that's great.
Managing conflicts within media channels holds substantial weight, molding how the audience perceives the platform's reliability. The Daily Wire's openness to embracing diverse viewpoints stands as a beacon of positivity, potentially bolstering its credibility among viewers yearning for multifaceted insights. Owens passionately underscores the significance of civil discourse, highlighting the essence of mutual esteem and decorum amidst ideological disparities. Two prominent figures, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, navigate a tempestuous terrain of clashing viewpoints within the conservative media landscape. Their divergent perspectives, influenced by a tapestry of intricate psychological factors, form the crux of a captivating discourse that ripples through professional identities, personal beliefs, and the fabric of their relationship. Owens, unwavering in her commitment to professionalism amidst dissent, champions the essence of respectful disagreement. Her approach, steeped in empathy, emotional intelligence, and accountability, showcases an unwavering dedication to preserving citizenship amidst discord. In stark contrast, Shapiro grapples with acknowledging fallibility, safeguarding credibility, and the profound impact of self-reflection on audience perception. His journey through recognition of errors in judgment echoes the complexity of molding evolving viewpoints within an audience-conscious framework. The psychological dimensions at play here illuminate the core of their ideological evolution. Exploring how platforms like Daily Wire handle diverse opinions reveals the pivotal role of varied perspectives in fostering audience trust and comprehension. Diving into the depths of cognitive dissonance, receptivity to new information, and the sway of social influences unravels the intricate threads that weave Shapiro's shifting ideologies. The delicate equilibrium between personal identities, the clash of professional disparities, and the struggle for individual integrity form the nexus of their disparity. The ongoing dynamic interplay between Owens and Shapiro serves as a microcosm of ideological transformation, shedding light on the complex processes that govern shifts in beliefs and perspectives. Their discord reverberates not just within the conservative media sphere, but also resonates with the broader mechanisms of ideological evolution and understanding.
What do you think?
I promote myself and my videos. Hello, I'm Bong Sim, a Canadian resident of Asian descent. During the day, I work as a professional counselor, and at night, I do Uber food delivery. Instead of speaking in my videos, I prefer to express myself through writing. In today's world, speaking the truth can have serious consequences, both for my professional life and personal well-being. That's why I'm choosing to pen down my thoughts and using a platform to share them on my behalf. Some people find my videos uninteresting, too strict, and they even criticize the appearance of the individuals featured, including their tiredness, Asian, or perceived flaws. I understand these concerns, but I genuinely believe in the purpose behind creating these videos. Unfortunately, recent Canadian legislation has resulted in the censorship of free speech and online content. And although Google hasn't explicitly admitted their involvement, I suspect they play a part in it. Despite my efforts to monetize my content on YouTube, I haven't been able to earn any income from it. I've tried 3 times, and all my attempts were rejected. They turned me down for reasons like lacking creativity, not having a recognizable face, or not having a distinct voice. Nevertheless, I've made several adjustments to my videos, hoping to overcome these challenges. If you share my belief and support what I'm doing, I would genuinely appreciate your backing.
Candace Owens, a prominent political figure, has navigated a profound spiritual metamorphosis, acknowledging the formidable impact of pivotal life junctures on her ideologies and values. Her trajectory from initial political involvement to an unwavering self-assurance portrays an evolution molded by individual milestones. Engaging in politics introduced Owens to the intricacies of the arena, where she witnessed compromises and the dominance of collective affiliations overshadowing genuine self-expression. Embracing marriage and motherhood acted as catalysts, instilling Owens with purpose and unwavering resolve, cultivating newfound certainty and steadfast convictions.
Do you find yourself thinking about God more than you used to?
Yes, without question.
Really?
Yes, it is just one of those things. I've never been more confident in who I am as a person, and I think that that needs to be said. And a couple of years ago, or I would even say just getting started in politics, it's a wild world, and you do realize that people do sell out. You do realize that there are people that don't have courage to say certain things. There's a lot of backhanded messaging and texting that's going on because people have aligned themselves to groups and not principles, which I think is wrong. But something changed for me spiritually when I got married and when I had children.
I've never been more confident in who I am as a person. Something changed for me, spiritually, when I got married and when I had children. Human evolution intertwines with significant life moments, fostering Owen's confidence as he experiences spiritual growth through marriage and parenthood. These milestones hold transformative influence, deeply shaping one's inner world. Marriage and parenthood act as catalysts, reshaping spirituality and self-perception, molding one's identity through personal encounters and spiritual development.
And I would say that I became laser focused. And I've never felt more secure. I've never felt more sure that I will land on my 2 feet if I follow a path that I deem to be righteous.
I've never felt more sure that I will land on my 2 feet if I follow a path that I deem to be righteous. Owens exemplifies steadfast belief and dedication in his convictions and actions. He stresses the importance of maintaining moral consistency and personal integrity, highlighting the crucial role of ethical decision-making in his belief system. His conviction guides him on what he perceives as a righteous path.
And I am not speaking these things to myself. That's God operating. That is God that is operating, and it is the call upon all people to be righteous in their approaches to things.
That is God that is operating, and it is the call upon all people to be righteous in their approaches to things. Owens discovers a deep sense of confidence and moral purpose through a spiritual calling. He stresses the importance of aligning his actions with ethical standards, valuing staying true to himself despite societal pressures. This commitment carries weight in terms of personal authenticity, freedom, mental well-being, and individual empowerment.
And that can be very difficult in politics, but I'm confident, and I think people are either very angry about that confidence. I think they can see the happiness that I have, and they're angry because that means that it's less of an ability to control what I say and to control what I think. But I'm still the same girl from the wrong side of the tracks. I understand people, and I can't sell out to anybody. I demand to be.
Navigating the convoluted political terrain, Owens grapples with the challenge of preserving integrity while juggling the complexities inherent in politics. Despite facing formidable challenges, Owens tenaciously upholds her core values, forged by her background and an unwavering commitment to staying true to herself. Candace Owens' spiritual metamorphosis vividly illustrates how personal milestones profoundly shape one's beliefs and values. Her journey vividly highlights the intersection where faith meets the evolution of political ideology, providing valuable insights into maintaining principles within the intricate landscape of politics. Owen's life is deeply influenced by pivotal moments such as marriage and motherhood, molding her sense of self and core beliefs. These key experiences bring about a newfound confidence and resolute determination within her. Central to her identity are her spiritual convictions, shaping how she sees the world and guiding her actions. These beliefs intertwine with her political views, creating a complex tapestry that defines her. However, Owens grapples with the challenge of aligning her firm principles with the complexities of the political realm. The constant struggle between staying true to herself and meeting the compromises demanded by politics presents a significant dilemma. Her relentless pursuit of authenticity reflects her upbringing and serves as an unfiltered representation of who she truly is. Despite this tension, Owens finds solace in her growing assurance and stability. These newfound qualities act as anchors in the face of political uncertainties. Her spiritual journey provides emotional contentment and stability, enhancing her resilience in the midst of change. Overall, her ability to maintain her integrity amidst external pressures showcases her genuine essence and unwavering commitment to authenticity.
What do you think?
Candace Owens is distinct in her admiration for a myriad of personalities united by a shared dedication to liberty. Elon Musk, Dana White, and Thomas Massey serve as her sources of inspiration, encapsulating the core of freedom in their respective domains. Musk's unyielding pursuit of freedom and his influence on Twitter's policies earn Owens deep respect, recognizing his impact on global dialogues as a truly heroic endeavor. Owens praises White's endorsement of diverse ideologies within the UFC, exhibiting resilience against external pressures and wholeheartedly championing the cause of free expression.
I also am inspired by Elon Musk.
Yeah,
He is so different from me, and we probably have very little in common. And yet, in this weird way, his fight for freedom, what he did for Twitter, is something there are no words to illustrate
I
what that
agree.
actually meant in terms of the global conversation. He is a hero. You know, if everything else that he did was bad, he would be measured as a good man, and that's my belief.
He is a hero. If everything else that he did was bad, he would be measured as a good man, and that's my belief. Elon Musk was openly acknowledged by Owens for his relentless commitment to free expression, praising his significant impact on global conversations. Owens stressed the importance of advocating freedom in various debates, focusing on actions that go beyond individual mistakes and emphasizing respect for everyone. Owens highlighted the crucial need to uphold personal liberty and encouraged open dialogue based on freedom principles, supporting diverse perspectives as crucial in nurturing a tolerant and dynamic society.
I agree with that.
I'm inspired by people like Dana White.
Yeah.
The ability to during BLM, absolutely love Dana White. People don't realize what sort of pressure was on him,
Yes.
to being the first person to say we're not shutting down the UFC, allowing, by the way, which is something that is so beautiful, the differing opinions to take place at the
Oh,
UFC.
yeah.
Does not care if you come out in an Israeli flag, a Palestinian flag, a BLM flag, a pro-America flag.
The ability to, during BM, absolutely love Dana White. He does not care if you come out in an Israeli flag, a Palestinian flag, a Palestinian flag, a pro-America flag. Owens commends Dana White for embracing diverse perspectives within the UFC, especially during challenging times like the BLM movement. Despite the spectrum of opinions and voices during this movement, White remains devoted to prioritizing freedom. He's praised for valuing actions beyond personal biases, standing firm on principled positions in societal debates.
And then the press will put pressure on him, and you hear him, and he's like, "So what? They're going to bash each other as soon as they get into the octagon. What do you mean? Tell them what they're going to think? That means something. These are little battles that we're winning, and people are fighting them on different fronts. And these are the cultural people, the political people. Thomas Massey for being the most consistent congressman in terms of what he supports and what he doesn't support, is someone else that I admire. So there are a lot of different people that I admire, but I think what they all have in common is an underlying belief in freedom and a hatred for people who are trying to tell you it's freedom when they are trying to censor you and to belittle you and to smear you and to libel you.
What they all have in common is an underlying belief in freedom and a hatred for people who are trying to tell you it's freedom when they are trying to censor you and to belittle you and to smear you and to libel you. Owens admires a group bound by their shared commitment to liberty. They unite against those who misuse freedom to suppress differing viewpoints through censorship and defamation. Together, they condemn attempts to manipulate censorship and control narratives. They emphasize the dangers of limiting free expression and highlight the deep psychological impact such repression has on both individual and societal discourse. Owens concedes the uphill struggle against censorship and defamation, stressing the imperative for unwavering vigilance and resilience in safeguarding liberty. Extending beyond their respective spheres, these personalities epitomize the battle against repression, motivating others to embrace a spectrum of ideologies and stand resolute. Owens accentuates the intricate essence of the struggle for liberty, traversing cultural, political, and societal domains, sculpting a vibrant terrain for freedom. Ultimately, Candace Owens exalts those committed to liberty, drawing inspiration from a diverse array of individuals who personify this eternal principle through their distinct expressions. The admiration Owens holds for individuals like Elon Musk, Dana White, and Thomas Massey symbolizes her reverence for heroism aligned with her personal ethos and the qualities she values in others. This admiration reflects her own sense of purpose, especially her unwavering dedication to freedom. The theme of freedom in Owen's story acts as a binding element among these diverse personalities, intertwining with her beliefs and perspectives. She sees these influential figures as catalysts for cultural change, challenging societal norms, advocating for diverse viewpoints, resisting any attempts to suppress freedom, and instilling resilience and authority not only in herself, but also in those who share her convictions. Owens deeply admires individuals who steadfastly adhere to their principles, exemplified by her respect for someone like Thomas Massey. His sincerity and unwavering stance resonate deeply with Owens, reflecting her own commitment to authenticity and her refusal to compromise her values. Her mental strength in the face of adversity, rooted in her steadfast commitment to freedom, acknowledges the fight against censorship and the crucial importance of allowing diverse voices to be heard. Her appreciation for figures like Elon Musk, despite potential differences in individuality and beliefs, demonstrates her ability to embrace diverse perspectives while upholding a common belief in the cornerstone of her values.
What do you think?